Good afternoon, good evening, all. I'm Carrie. This is Student Loan Chit-Chat. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are new to this channel, I like to sit and listen to Dave Ramsey telephone calls. We basically figure out what we can learn from other people's debt experience, and the decisions that they have made that have got them to where they are financially in life. So I thank you for being here. If you've been here before, you know the routine. You kick back, you relax. All right, grab your tea. We're going to look at a story that played 4 years ago. I know with the spring is slowly upon us. We know this because pollen is everywhere. Like I take my car right now to the car wash mornings, afternoon, and evenings. One of those $25, all the car washes you can get. All right, because the pollen is so bad right now. All right. So, but with the spring also comes the idea of weddings. And it says here, we can't afford to attend a wedding. Now, I have to be honest. If I can't afford to attend a wedding, I can't afford to attend it. I don't feel the need to have to call in to a show to validate that decision. But apparently, some people do. And there may be special circumstances to this case that we don't know about. So that's what we're going to find out. What's the tea going on in this story? Because it just seems like if you can't afford a wedding, you get a small gift and you call it done, right? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. All right, here we go. We can't afford to attend a wedding. This played 4 years ago, but as you know, we can learn from it. Let's see how we can apply it to current trending times. Thanks so much for being here. Let's hit it.
Hi, Cecilia. How are you?
Hi, Cecilia.
Hi, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. How can I help?
So my husband and I have around $250,000 worth of debt.
Woo.
Most of it being...
I wasn't quite planning for the tea to start out right away, but we have $250,000 of debt. Hopefully it's in a house.
Student loans, I know.
It's in student loans. Oh, hold on. I feel sip time already. People every now and then, we don't even put the tea on simmer. We just start it with a hot and overflow. $250,000 worth of debt. Now, let's look at the title here. We can't afford to attend a wedding. Anybody disagree with that title?
No mortgage because we don't have a house. And we also have 2 lease vehicles. We just sold one. We have another one that is over around 2,000 miles. So we've been trying to save up for a car in order to drive that instead of the leased car. Mm-hmm. And we have a family wedding that's coming up in August in another country. It's my husband's brother. And we've decided in order to help keep our gazelle intensity up and not take too much of a hit to have my husband go and me stay. And the issue with that was that his family was not happy with the decision, and it was very upsetting, and we got, called selfish, and it was tough emotionally to handle that. And we were just wondering, are we being too insensitive? Should we both go?
Why do adults need permission to make financial decisions like this? I mean, I guess, I can understand calling Dave Ramsey for certain things, real technical issues, but things like, my family is having a wedding. It's in another freaking country. They want us to pay all the airfare, hotel, food that it's going to cost us to go attend this wedding. And we have to call Dave Ramsey to see if we can back out. And I think the fact that just the brother is going, that to me is probably even more generous than it should be. I mean, if they really want to stick as a couple, it's, we can't afford this. We will be happy to see you when you're in town, or we'll be happy to come see you, countryside, stateside. But if my sister were to have a wedding, if my sister were to say, Carrie, I'm holding a wedding in Italy, expect to see you there, and it's going to require me to put $5,000 on a credit card, it's not happening. I will be more than happy to see her during the summer. It's just a hypothetical, okay? I'll see you on Dad's farm during the summer. We'll celebrate. I'll make you a bundt cake. But am I going to shell out a whole bunch of credit card debt so you can have a destination wedding at the country of your choice, and everybody like little sheep should follow along financially? I don't really understand why this requires a phone call, but maybe some people get very insecure with it. So I will respect that. They get insecure with their decision.
So we're kind of in a pickle with that.
We have $250,000 in student loan. There's no pickle. They seem to understand. I think the caller seems to understand the rules of the game. I wouldn't even send the husband. I would say, sorry. And I know part of the problem possibly is the fact that they really, people tend to keep their finances kind of private, unless, of course, they got a YouTube channel and blah, blah, blah. Okay. But, if I had a spouse, I would not discuss the finances like I discuss being single. I don't just mind discussing my finances because I'm a public school teacher. But if I had somebody else in a relationship, no, I would not divulge financial details of the relationship. But since it's just me, my channel, and my teaching job, I'm totally fine with it. But it's probably the fact that, they can't tell the family, hey, we have $250,000 in student debt. We're broke and we're trying to peel our way out of it. And if the family is the type that is upset that she's not going and the brother would go, then the family probably wouldn't understand anyways. Even if they said, hey, we have $250,000 in student loan debt, we can't go. I have a very hard and fast rule. I go broke for no one. Seriously, now that I have experienced the other side of debt freedom, and I like the freedom side much better than the debt side, if I can't afford it, I cannot afford it. If they don't understand that, it is what it is. We know if they would have to put this on a charge card. And people could say, well, they could save the money for it, but they have bigger goals. They want to get rid of that $250,000 student loan. The $5,000 it could take him, if not more, to go to this destination wedding. It's kind of like this. Here's how I would kind of see it. If the wedding were not taking place, would you take a trip overseas? If there were no wedding, would you voluntarily run up your card and take a trip overseas? I'm willing to bet their answer is no.
So, is his family wealthy?
No.
So the family, okay, so I apologize for interrupting you, Dave. So the family, the couple that's getting married is putting on a dog and pony show for everybody, trying to look wealthy just for a day, and they want to suck all their friends and family to go in on it with them. I wouldn't even be a bridesmaid in somebody's wedding if I couldn't afford it. Someone says, hey, Carrie, I want you to be a bridesmaid. It's $800. Do I have $800? Yes. But do I want to spend it being someone's bridesmaid? Probably not.
So they're all broke, but they're doing a destination wedding internationally.
Well, I don't know what his brother's situation is, and his,
Well, I mean, if you do a destination wedding and you invite all your family that's broke, it's kind of unfair.
Exactly.
That's what I personally thought, right?
Yeah. So, where's the wedding?
Dominican Republic.
Oh, it's in the DR. I bet it's gonna be beautiful. Some nice blue water. I think there's blue water in the DR. Well, either way, I think. Well, even if there's not blue water, it's in the DR. That would be pretty fun. But do you have the budget for it? And would you go there if it weren't a wedding?
Okay. Well, that's not too bad. I mean, what will it cost you to get down there?
So one plane ticket for their date is around almost $700 for a weekend.
Mm-hmm. And what's your household income?
We make around $60,000 a year combined.
So basically, that's two people making $30,000. Now the 700, okay. Sometimes we have to remember. Oftentimes, when traveling, it's the airfare that's cheap. It's everything else that gets expensive. Plus, they're going to want a present. Plus, there's going to be extra food, and I mean, unless this wedding is all taken care of and paid for by the couple that's inviting all their friends, like, hey, we've got a place for you to stay, we've got meals being served, and I seriously doubt this is the case. And then, of course, they're going to want a nice fat, wedding present. I would take that $700, and honestly, I would just send the brother. Period. That's what I would do. Family, don't let somebody else cause you to get into debt. I am a serious believer of that. Don't allow the pressure of other people to cause you to get into debt. I was very, very lucky. My parents waited so patiently while I peeled my way out of debt for 3 intensive years to get this mortgage paid off by 2022, to clear up some other things. My parents, and that my father's up there in years, senior, and they waited patiently. They never made me feel bad. They didn't say, well, Carrie, you haven't been home in 3 years. When are you going to come? They never forced me, because they understood that I had goals. Not that, and that my achieving my goals was not a reflection on what I thought of them. It was, I had responsibilities that I needed to complete for myself so that I could be a contributing member of society. And I didn't need anything. I don't need any assistance or anything else. Well, other than my $110,000 student loan being forgiven. But I earned my way out of that according to government rules and regulations. But I don't believe in people allowing you to, I don't believe that people should be able to convince you that you need to get into debt to fulfill a dream that they have. If their dream for you is that big, they will pay for it.
Wow, and you have $200,000 in debt.
No, I thought she said $250,000, Dave.
I cry myself to sleep every night, yes.
And most of that is student loan debt, if I understand this correctly.
So, how much of the $200,000 were these 2 cars?
Well, so I got rid of one of the cars. We got rid of one of the leases, so we don't have that $500 payment. That was the car payment.
Was that part of the $200,000 in debt that you gave me?
No.
Oh, so it's in.
Kitty Ears was right. I said no. That was an addition. The student loan is $200,000.
In addition to that, okay.
Right.
Snaps for me. Snaps for me. Yay me. Yay me.
And
Yeah.
and how much
So
how much do you owe on the other car?
The other cars are leased.
Oh, so you don't have that in the $200,000 either.
No.
Okay, and what is the $200,000? All student loans?
So, yeah. So it's $100,000 his student loans, and it's $90,000 my student loans, and the rest are credit card and bank loans.
Oh, the tea is being poured. All right, people, they make $60,000 each. They make $60,000 gross. Split it between 2 people. Each person makes $30,000. Each person holds, respectively, $100,000 in student loans. Each person, respectively, has a leased car. Now, I lease my car, family. We know this, right? But my lease doesn't hurt me. That's because my debt-to-income ratio isn't hurting me. In fact, my leased car is so inexpensive. I think they say you shouldn't spend more than 15% of your total transportation, lease, insurance, gas, yada, yada, shouldn't be more than 10 to 15%. I think mine hits at about 12 to 13% with my lease car, more than affordable. So it's not the lease that's hurting her. It's not the lease. But I want you to think about this, family. 2 people, $60,000. So that's that's what she said they make total. That's $30,000 each. They each hold $100,000 student loan on, respectively, a $30,000 each income, and hold lease cars. Way over in debt. Absolutely no way can they afford this wedding. Absolutely no way. And part of, like I said earlier, part of the hesitation for them not going is they don't necessarily want to blab this to everybody. I have, my sisters, I could confidentially say, guys, I can't do this. I'm holding on to, my husband and I, we have a couple $100,000 in student loans. Okay. I might be able to say that if I had a close enough relationship with them, but this type of family don't sound like that type of family that would even understand. And the fact that, according to the caller, Cecilia, that according to Cecilia, she says even the people getting married, they can't afford it. Don't follow people over a financial cliff. Let them tie their knots, tie their vows, yada, yada. They'll get over it that you're not there.
Okay, so what are your degrees in?
My degree
Let's hear the liberal arts. Let's hear it.
is in school counseling, So I took loans in my bachelor's and master's degree.
I hope this was 4 years ago. I hope a lot of this debt is paid, but statistically, it's not gone anywhere.
And he started a nursing practitioner degree, but didn't finish. So he took the loans for that. So now we have that loan.
Why didn't he finish being, oh, this is not good. Not good, family, not good. She's in $100,000 debt to be a school counselor, and he is in $100,000 debt with no degree. No, they should not go to the wedding.
Or that debt without a degree.
Both of you work?
Yes, we both work.
And you only make $60,000 a year?
Right.
But remember, Dave, like she said, he went to school for nursing, nurse practitioner, but he did not finish the degree. And we all want to know. What do we want to know, family? Why did he not finish the degree? Dramatic music. Da-da-da-da. I don't know if that's dramatic music, but I swear, I'm going to get a dramatic music button. Of course, that requires more technology. Maybe later.
Okay. Wow.
$30,000 a year. And you get yourself into a 6-figure student loan. Guys, this is bad. You can't, like I said, I don't look at their income as $60,000 income. It would be $60,000 one person was making and the other one was making 60. Average out their income, it's $30,000 each, gross. They need to be working 2 jobs right now. They're $250,000 in debt, respectively. Oh, she sounds like a nice lady too.
So your master's degree in all of your work was a really poor investment.
Yes, it was. Public service. Now, maybe she'll be able to work for the 10 years and get that paid off, but they're still stuck with his. And that's only, she has to work in public service. A lot of the private industries do not allow you public service loan forgiveness. The reason a lot of private industry, even if they say she was a counselor at a private school or private teachers, the reason the private sector doesn't allow, for the most part, public loan forgiveness is because the private sector tends to pay better. And it's the fact that it's a private sector. You're supposed to be working for the public. You're supposed to be working for the slightly rougher crowd.
Right.
Based on the career field that you've chosen out of it anyway.
I think we should pray.
Because, I mean, if we just take yours alone, you say $100,000 in debt, I mean, you're making what, 30?
Dave is thinking, wait, no, I thought the way Dave thought. Snaps for me. Snap, snap. Yay, me. Yay, me. Confetti, confetti. I feel like I'm leading you correctly, family.
I'm making, so I guess I meant after taxes. I'm making around, I'm making 50, but after taxes, I want to say it's like,
Okay. Yeah,
40.
you're making 50. And what does he make?
Okay, well, 50 is a little better, but I still get to keep those snaps because I did earn that based on what she said before. Now, this is a little bit better. She's making 50, but to show you how it's not much better, I was making in the 50s when my loan was forgiven in 2022 of $110,000, and I still couldn't get out of it. So she's still going to have a hard time getting out of it, and she's got his to peel out of also. I couldn't peel out of it, guys. I couldn't peel out of it. Believe me, if I could have, I would have.
He just started working a new job. So right now he makes around 50. He just started a teaching job.
So they're actually about $100,000 a year couple. Well, this looks a little better. Okay.
But that wasn't,
Okay,
that
so
wasn't
that's like
last year.
100. 50
Right.
and 50 is like 100.
Dave and I can do math.
Okay,
Right.
So you make $100,000 a year. All right, that's a little different.
Yeah, it's a little different, but it's still not much. It's still not much comfort. It's just not. Again, when you're sitting on $250,000 almost in debt. Almost.
Well, I mean, $700 one way or the other is not going to change your life.
I would agree with that. Like I said earlier, okay, send him. But don't get them to get you to run up a whole big bill. Because you got to remember, guys, it's not just going to be the $700. It's going to be the cost of extra food. It's going to be, they're going to want to go out and do extra entertainment. This is going to be more than $700. I would safely say at least double to triple it. It's like when I plan my trips. I know that going to Oregon is not just a plane fare. It's extra snacks. It's pizza at the airport. All right. It's the extra cost of things. And I don't go wild and above. Okay. But it's just, it costs more. It just simply does.
To the positive or to the negative. It's more the point of who runs your house, your mother-in-law or you two.
Right.
And that's what this comes down to. It's more of a boundaries issue. And, I might be inclined to spend the $700, except that everybody wanted me to. And then that makes me not want to do it.
And the fact that it's going to be more than $700. By the time the bill is done, it's probably going to be closer to $2,000.
Because you're trying to tell me how to run my house, all of you. But yeah, $700, if that's all it's going to cost you to get down there, that's really out of $100,000 a year income, and you've got a $200,000 mess. The $700 is not the issue.
I'd agree. It seems insignificant, but what he needs to ask, and Dave, I hope you do, what is the wedding party going to pay for? Can she just show up she can say, I got empty pockets, and she can say, oh, empty pockets. I spent $700 to get here. Now, what further are they expected to pay for? Oh, you need to chip in for the Castle Hotel that we rented. Oh, you need to chip in for the extra activities. Just assuming that it's only $700, I don't think is a good idea.
I mean, you're going to find other stuff that happens that's going to be $700 one way or the other, and both of you need to get extra jobs, and yeah, you got to sell this other car. That's a lot more important than the $700. I think it's more of a boundary issue of, you don't get to decide what I'm going to do.
And isn't that kind of what I was saying earlier, family? I didn't say it as eloquently as Dave is saying it, with it being a boundary issue, but basically I said, don't let someone else determine what you're going to go into debt over. I don't care who it is. Don't let someone else determine. And if you're a couple, you and your spouse, or you and your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, whatever, okay? You determine, you as a pair, you as an item determine what you're going to go into debt over, and then you stick by it. Truly, this really doesn't need a phone call. Maybe she's just feeling a little insecure. If you have, some of these type of relatives, I'd probably be calling in too. But really, I just don't allow other people to do it. Everybody wants to go to lunch, at a nice expensive place. I can't afford it. No go. That sort of thing happens.
It's not, you don't live here. And sometimes you do things not out of guilt tripping, but just because you want to be kind to someone. But as soon as they start guilt tripping me, I tend to go the other way. So I don't care if you go. It doesn't matter to me.
And I agree, the $700, it's neither here nor there, if that's all it's actually going to be. Don't forget to pack a toothbrush.
I think you've got a lot bigger fish to fry than that one. So,
like a $250,000 student loan debt.
I'm not sure this is a sword I want to fall on. If it was $7,000, yeah. I mean, you're trying to fly me to wherever for $7,000, that'd be different. But $700 is, you can work extra for a month delivering pizzas and go, right? Which you need to probably be doing anyway to earn some money. So,
all right, people, I think we have the idea. I think we got the gist of it. That $250,000 almost student loan. Oh, and my Lexa's calling me. All right, folks. I'm Carrie. This is Student Loan Chit-Chat. Thank you for joining me for this evening's bedtime chit-chat story time. I hope you will consider subscribing. I will see you here tomorrow at the computer deck. At least, that's the plan. Bye.